Drawing from personal experiences with gaslighting and narcissistic abuse that pretty much started in the womb, it took a lot of time to trust my intuition and hold on to hope, even when faced with doubt and dismissal. I love seeing the dreaming women acknowledging life's paradoxes, but also preserving our clarity. Through our shared experiences from childhood difficulties to societal gaslighting, we've discovered that our perceived limitations, for example, for me, ADHD, often become portals to deeper wisdom and strength. As a mind body coach, teacher, graphics person, maker, renovator, and seer with decades of practicing emotion skills, I've learned that breaking through limitations isn't just about personal healing. It's about creating spaces where the big picture can guide us forward. So, for today's reading, I asked, what can I tell the dreaming women about persisting? Oh, and I'll put a graphic up of the sign I carried to every march starting about 9 years ago. I've been marching since I was 12, so a long time, but this persistent sign is my favorite. Okay, first I saw an igloo. I saw the hood of a parka, but the trim on the parka was glowing. The igloo to me represents such a brilliantly engineered form of protection and shelter, while the glowing trim on the parka suggests illuminations or guidance during dark times. This combination points to finding safety while also maintaining inner light or wisdom, which is one way I think we're already supporting each other. Then I saw a man with a hat on that was squarish, and he had a uniform on and a musket. I was pretty sure I knew, but I had to look it up, and it was from the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War figure symbolizes fighting for freedom and justice. The musket and tricorner hat specifically represent standing up against oppression and the courage to challenge established authority. Then I saw somebody in one of those ball pits for little kids, and they were squirming around. This one woman was really struggling, but then she sat up and she had a dress on, and the dress was lit up. It had puffy sleeves, but it was glowing. I think the ball pit represents feeling overwhelmed or lost in chaos, kind of like the shock and awe happening now meant to make us give up. The transformation to sitting up and wearing a glowing dress shows emerging from confusion into enlightenment. The puffy sleeves suggest feminine power, while the glow indicates our inner strength being revealed. I don't think I've done a single intuitive insight reading in the past year that didn't show women regaining our power, our true power. Then I saw a woman sitting on the front of a car with one foot on the bumper, looking very hip. She was pulled over by the side of the road in a big expanse of desert. Then she was driving and pulling or towing an airplane behind the car, but the airplane was folded up kind of like a seated bird with its wings in. And the interpretation here for me, the hip woman represents confidence and self assurance. The desert setting suggests spiritual or an emotional trip. The folded airplane being towed shows potential for greater heights or achievement that are currently constrained, but still importantly within reach. Then I saw a cave, and then we all went in the cave, and there were areas of iridescence. There were women inside wearing necklaces made of shells, and the shells were covered in this iridescent color, all the colors of the rainbow, but prominently were these areas of this beautiful purple and an absolutely gorgeous cobalt blue. The cave represents going inward for wisdom and self discovery. That's why I dubbed my go to for inner wisdom Cave Woman and the title of my book. The iridescent colors, especially purple and cobalt blue, symbolize spiritual awakening and divine feminine wisdom. The shell necklaces suggest connection to, again, ancient feminine power and natural cycles. Then I saw an eye, and it was the eye of a reptile, and it went over to some water. But as it drank from the water, it became a horse. And then I saw its eye reflected in the water, and it had braids, lots and lots of braids. The transformation from reptile to horse represents evolution from basic survival instincts to higher consciousness and freedom. The braid suggests weaving together of different aspects of self or experience, or how we each bring different talents to the party. The reflection in the water indicates deep self awareness, self assurance, and emotional truth. I think the overall theme suggests a transformation from feeling powerless to finding inner strength, like my personal journey of finding my truth despite decades of gaslighting. The imagery shows a path from survival to empowerment while maintaining connection to deeper wisdom and truth. A big picture reading for sure, but I find it helpful. I can and do ask more specific questions, but when the waters are being muddied on purpose, I find the big picture view is where I draw the most hope. Maybe you do too. Please like, subscribe, share if you like. Oh, and comment. I'd love to know what you intuit and how you see the big picture. Or if you have a question you're curious about, let me know. I'll do a reading. Thanks.